Welcome to Pitch Perfect Live. I am your host, Nicci Willis, and every Tuesday I am here with you guys, welcoming a brand new business owner, and we're working on their pitch. We're perfecting their pitch because I know as a small business owner how hard it can be, to get out there, to get your pitch out there. You work so hard on it and it doesn't land. And that feels so horrible when you've worked so hard on your business, but when you go to pitch, it's not landing. And so what we do every Tuesday night is I welcome a new business leader on. We work on that pitch. We have been doing this now. This is our 7th week, guys. And I am so excited. We've been getting transformation after transformation. If you don't know about it, watch the previous ones. I'm telling you, we have a great time. It is so fun. And most of all, we get a transformation. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We've got a new guest coming on. We have a new home, as you can see, not physically. I'm actually at my mom's. I'm visiting my mom this week. But we are now on YouTube Live. So those of you who have migrated over, thank you so much. I'm still getting used to all the features and all the things. But if you can see me, if you can hear me, if everything looks good, give me a thumbs up. Say something in the chat so that I can see it and that you can give me feedback on here. Let's see. Oh, I'm seeing hearts. I love it. I love it. Let's make sure that, that our guest is going to be coming on soon. This one is a real special one. Hi, Nia. All right, we are good to go. Before we get started, I do want to tell you guys, I have a community that I just built. And it's particularly for entrepreneurs, business leaders, and micro entrepreneurs. What is a micro entrepreneur? Well, in this day and age, we know now that the professionals that are graduating college, the professionals that are, millennials like me, are not sitting at a job for 30 plus years. They don't even have the same career. And most millennials will change their career at least 3 times. Their career, not their job, their actual career. And so what I like to call a micro entrepreneur are those who need to still share their skill set, their services. They have worked really hard on their skill sets, on their services, on what they do. And they are essentially being hired by multiple companies. And so I have a group now called The Green Room for business leaders just like yourself. My daughter's gonna put that in that link in the chat here so that you guys can check it out. It's free right now. And I am just sharing what I have figured out, what I know, what I have studied over the past 20 years of being in business. And I'm about to start letting loose this month. So make sure you are in the room. It is not like Instagram. It's much more behind the scenes. And I kind of give a little bit of how I think. So you'll definitely want to join in on the Green Room. All right. I see Adrianne is in here. Now, how do I get her in? That's the good question. All right. Adrianne, did you click the link thing that I sent you? Let me see. I'm going to see if I can text you again. Let's see. All right. I'm texting it to her now. I'm texting it to you now so that you can join in. So hopefully I can see this. Again, guys, this is my first time on YouTube Live, so bear with me just a little bit. Trust me, we will still do this whole full 30 minutes. Hey, let's see. Hey, Yuki. Thanks for joining in. And keep putting it. So now I'm seeing comments, which is great. Y'all know I love to see comments. So let me know where you are watching from. Yay! Adrianne's coming in. This is happening, people. Ah!
Hello there.
We've done it. And look, we match.
We match.
Hi, Adrianne.
Hello, Nicole. How are you?
I'm good. I know. Well, listen, okay. Full story. You want to know people, if knowing someone for over 40 years was a person, that would be us.
right here.
That is wild.
Over
That is
40
wild.
years.
Everybody, I would love to introduce to you guys my childhood best friend, Adrianne Joy. Yay!
Hello.
I've literally known her since birth. And we were
Yes, sir.
singing and all the things. We were in church choir, all kinds
All
of
the
things.
things.
Hey,
All the
Illinois
things.
is in the house. I love that. I love that. So we've got people from all over that are joining in. Welcome to Pitch Perfect Live. You
Thank you for
are
having
my
me.
my next guest, which I'm so excited about. I have not told any, I haven't shared anything about what you do because here what we do, I kind of give everybody a little house rules. What we do is you kind of just give everybody like an update, a kind of a quick, here's who I am, here's what I do. And then you'll tell me a little bit about your goal. We talked a little bit last week and I said, okay, wait, you got to come on because I want to kind of tackle a little bit of what you've got going on, but everybody must know what it is. So, Adrianne, I'm going to turn the floor over to you so you can tell us who you are, what you got going on, what you do, and then I'm going to start my trusty watch for 30 minutes, and we're going to tackle this thing. Okay, we're going to
Okay.
tackle
Okay.
this goal
Let's
that you
get
want.
into
So,
it.
I am ready. Go ahead.
All right. Well, y'all, I'm Adrianne Joy. As Nicci said, longtime friend. Uh, all the things.
Yeah.
But for me right now, I am embarking on a new space, a new business, as she just referenced. And that is being a keynote speaker, an author, a joy strategist, and a culture analyst. And
Mm,
all of these things have been components of what I've done in my regular employment over the years, things that I've done in the church and ministry spaces over the years. And I've never formalized it. And
okay.
so now I'm getting ready to launch a book in a couple of months. And so I'm using that as a way to kind of culminate a business to launch it all out.
Okay. And what's the book going to be called?
It's called Finding Joy, Where Grace Meets the Hard Places.
Where grace meets the hard places.
Mhm.
Okay. And if you've been on here before, those who knows when I'm looking down, I am taking copious notes. So that's what I'm doing here. When I look down, I'm note taking. Where grace meets what?
Meets meets the hard places.
Ooh, meets the hard places.
That's
Okay.
the reaction I want right there. Oof. That's
Mm-hmm,
it.
mm-hmm, right? Somebody said, wow, that sounds amazing. We love it. We love it. See? Okay. So thanks, Marcus. So we want to, so what do you want to accomplish here today? We got 30 minutes. We're gonna dive super deep. We're gonna go super deep and we're gonna get this transformation. What is that transformation that you want today?
So because I haven't ever I've never pitched, I've never had to pitch. All of these opportunities just come through referrals, word of mouth, whether that be again in my workplace, whether that be in ministry space, faith-based spaces.
Right.
So to formalize it and to pitch and to say, to corporations, I can come and train your leaders on these things. I can build resilient leaders. To faith-based spaces, churches, pastors, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
to say I can do a cultural analysis in
Mm-hmm.
moving you from one space where the current culture is to the preferred culture and some strategic infrastructure to build something that's sustainable, something that's replicable and scalable.
Okay.
Um, and then, of course, from the book perspective,
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking to see, how do I pitch this to do, go and do book signings, go and do, women's conferences and things around the book. There will be other books already in the making, like workbooks and things that are attachments to that.
Mm-hmm.
But just really how to kind of package it all together, right? And depending on the audience, I know I have a B2B, B2C type
Yeah.
framework.
Okay.
Kind of knowing what to say, when to say, and to whom.
Okay. So my first question is, what do you want to focus on first? Actually, let me start this timer. Hold on, hold. Everybody's like, wait, start the timer. Okay. So we're starting 30 minutes, people. All right, here we go. So my first question is, where do you want to focus on first? Do you want to focus on B2B first or B2C, business to business or business to consumer for those of you who are watching?
Let's do business to consumer. I think
Okay.
the B2B comes a little bit more naturally just because that's what I'm doing all the time. And I think in
Sure.
faith-based spaces is sometimes more difficult to talk business in faith-based spaces, right? So
Okay.
language that works in both.
Okay. So, when you talked about, I heard you say you are a joy strategist
Yeah.
and a cultural analyst.
Mhm.
Okay. Tell me what a cultural analyst is.
So, being able to use organizational development industry
Okay.
tools to be able to actually analyze the culture, right? So, that's in
Mhm.
corporations, that's in churches.
Yeah.
Everybody has a culture. And so, a lot of times, we are surveying or evaluating the engagement. That's how people are feeling about things. But the culture is really what drives people's thinking, their behavior, and their values. And
Okay.
so, in a church space, we want to understand what's present state. How
Hmm.
is that impacting their leadership? How is it impacting their growth? And then where do they want to be, right? And so
Okay.
how and then establishing frameworks to get them to those spaces.
Okay, so you kind of do a pulse check, a culture check first, and then determine where they're going to be, where they want to
Hmm.
be after that.
Yep.
So that's more the B2B. In terms of B2C, then you're is this where you're talking about being a joy strategist? Like what is the
Hmm.
transformation in that the
Yeah.
individual?
Yeah. So correct. So the B2C is my target audience, even though it's for everybody, but like the book is more written directed at women
Okay, women.
who have typically been just chasing happiness, chasing fleeting emotions, those types of things, who are still running on empty, right? They're still
Mm,
chasing these things. Maybe you got a new boo, a new home, a new car, you thought it was going to be those things that fix it, that made you feel the feeling, that sense of fulfillment, but it's not, right? You're
yeah,
still in the same spot.
yeah.
So for them, it's walking alongside them via the book, via small groups, via one-on-one coaching, via larger settings, what
Mhm.
have you, to transform and find strategic ways to find joy in hard places. So in disappointment, in
Mhm.
obscurity, in rejection, in all the things where you wouldn't imagine joy to be, but it's
Yeah,
there. It's
that's
there.
very interesting. That you said finding joy in the places that are most obscure. Those those places where you've been frustrated, maybe where you felt abandonment or have a loss or something like that.
Mhm.
Your transformation is them being able to find joy in those spaces
In those spaces and to embody it. And then
and to
ultimately be able to multiply it.
and multiply it. Okay, embody and multiply it. Okay. Woo. These are good trigger words. Like these are like ding, 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 ding. Because essentially, so this woman that you're talking about, you said she's chasing happiness.
Mhm.
She's always on E.
Mhm.
What does that let's talk a little bit about more a little bit let's talk a little bit more about this woman that's essentially on E, that's essentially chasing happiness. What does her day-to-day look like?
It could look like anything. You're carrying a lot of responsibility. You're maneuvering through life. You're maneuvering through your career, but you're privately weary. This might be the strong
Mm.
friend. This
Mm.
might be, this is it. It could be any of us, depending on
Mhm.
how what cards life throws us. Right? It's
Mhm.
it's been me. Hence where this all came from. Right? Where this is
Yeah.
birthed from. So sometimes they're disconnected. Sometimes they're questioning. And they can be faith centered or they can be
Mhm.
faith curious,
Okay.
right? Where it's like, I'm open to God, but
Mhm.
there's some tension between my faith and my lived experience.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. So, okay, you said so faith centered. Is this woman more faith centered though?
I mean, this if she is, she's gonna be like,
Particular woman.
yes.
Yeah.
She's gonna be like, yes. If you're faith curious, it's going to make you question, make you more curious to investigate and study
Mhm.
and go
Mhm.
read what does it say. There's probably a lot of things from a biblical perspective that enlightens your understanding
Okay.
around these
So
types
this
of
woman
issues.
doesn't mind having the she doesn't mind the solution being from a biblical perspective.
She doesn't mind it, and
Yeah.
quite frankly, she's probably desperate. Just as like, I've tried everything.
Desperate. Okay. Okay. So, I'm breaking the fourth wall. So, for those of you who are watching this happen right now, what we're doing is we're really trying to. I want to see this woman. I want to see this woman in this space that she's in so that we can specifically talk to her. We've already talked about how Adrienne wants to do both B2B and B2C. But right now we're focusing on that B2C, and we're specifically focusing on that one hero, just the one, because there are women that are going to be not faith centered at all, like you said, maybe faith curious, but they will still resonate with her because she sees them. And so you're saying that this woman, um, you know, she's desperate. She's in a place where she is tired. She's on E. You said she's that strong friend where on the outside she's smiling, but at home she's tired. She might be crying at night, and she needs that ability to breathe. And she has tried everything, is what you're saying. She's tried everything except for finding joy.
Correct.
So maybe that's where we start. You've tried everything. You've tried everything. And you're still chasing happiness. You've tried everything. Okay, so I'm writing this down. She's tried everything. When someone asks you, hey, Adrianne, what do you do?
In this space, so the
Yep.
I can say I'm a coach. I'm gonna walk alongside you. If it's a one-to-one, I can be a teacher, I can be a speaker. It depends on. It depends.
Yeah. Okay. If you saw the woman that we just described, if she walked up to you and said, I don't know, what can you do for me? And her face looks just like this. I don't what can you do for me?
So in that space, it's going to be some one-to-one coaching. Let's talk, right? Like I'm going to be able to show her my scars to make her more available to show hers if she desires to, right? And then be able to walk alongside her to literally get into the weeds, get into the mud with it, to be able to help her identify and reframe her mindset of how she's seeing her situations, how she's seeing, what role is she playing in her situation, right? Maybe what she's thinking, how she's talking, that self-talk, gets us way off sometimes.
Okay.
And so being able to highlight those things for her and get into the weeds as much as I need to be in a one-to-one setting.
Okay. So if you wanted her to read your book, if the next step is just to read the book, what would you say?
You said the next step is to read the book?
Yeah, if the next step for her is, maybe she's just now meeting you. Maybe she's just now getting to know, like, and trust you. Maybe she's found you on Instagram. And her next step is just to get the book, to crack open the book. What would you say?
Yeah, this is a space for you to reflect, for you to really take a minute and look at yourself, look at your situations, give language and articulation to really how you're feeling. A lot of times we mislabel our emotions and things of that sort, which don't allow us to get to the root of it. But taking that time to reflect and then to be able, in the next step would be able to embody it. So moving from just inspiration, I don't want you just to be inspired. I'm like, man, that's a good one. I want you to move from inspiration to application.
There we go. Okay, I'm liking this because like you said, you don't want this to just be motivation. This should invoke change. This should invoke change. Girl, I see you're tired. You have tried it all. You are on E. It is time for a change. That direct language to the woman that's desperate, to the strong friend that's secretly tired, is key.
Yep.
Because and so on your messaging, on your Instagram messaging, on your posts, be okay with being that direct. You're on E. It's time for change. You are tired of just the circle, the emotional ups and downs, highs and lows, and no steady. The joy is what keeps you steady, right? Because
That's right.
like you said, happiness is fleeting. The
Right.
joy is
That's
what
right.
they can't take from you.
That's right. That's right.
It's the joy. So because you is essentially now, right now you are in that moment where you want people to get to know you, to get to like you, and to get to trust you, so that they will buy your book. And then from buying your book, obviously, book, speaking engagements and things like that. So she has to be seen in
Mhm.
everything you're saying. She's got to be seen. Hi, welcome. No, we're not talking about this. But so she has to be seen in these moments. She has to be seen in, and it doesn't have to always be so dramatic.
Mhm.
But when you're saying, you know, have you had that time to breathe today?
Mhm. Yep.
Like you said, that just the reflection, like just a moment of reflection. Because as busy women, I'm assuming that this woman, this hero, is very busy as well. Like you said, she's got so much going on. She's carrying the weight of the world, and she barely
Mhm.
has time for herself. But in
Mhm.
this one moment, does she have that time to breathe? I saw on your Instagram, you have the parked pause, which
Mhm.
I love, because you're literally you're in the carpool lane waiting to pick up your children. And in that moment is a moment of reflection, and a moment where that same type of woman can be seen, can see herself in you.
Mhm.
And then you
Mhm.
have just a small takeaway. Just a small takeaway. Let's see. So this book is speaking about life's ups and downs, and that joy can be found even in the darkest of places. Yes, Marcus, exactly. These moments, I like. Is that your husband? That's your husband, right?
That's
Hey, we love a good supportive man. We love it. Absolutely, yes. It definitely means it. It. This is speaking to, in the midst of life's ups and downs, finding that joy that will keep you,
that sustains you.
that's
That's
going to
right.
sustain you, and that's going to keep you.
Mhm.
So this woman has to be seen at all times, and you have to identify her every time when you're getting that messaging out. Every time you have your parked pauses, those are great. How many times are you doing those?
Very inconsistently. Very inconsistently, but
Ah,
I plan to do a little bit more, a lot bit more in the
okay.
coming year.
What can you commit
That's
to?
just not my comfort space, right? Like this social media and that kind of thing is just not my comfort space.
But you're doing fine. You're doing great right now. You're
Well, I
literally
mean,
doing great.
talking is a comfort. I can get out here and talk, but
Yeah.
just kind of the pre-planned filming and all
Yeah.
that, it's just not by nature me yet. But
Do you
I'm
do
committed.
Okay, you're committed. Awesome. Do you do them in one take? Y'all
Yes.
do them in one take?
Mhm.
Is that what frustrates you? The one take thing, or
No,
just
I think it's just literally I'm talking to no one, right? I'm
Mhm.
fine to talk to people and engage in that way, but talking to no
Okay.
one besides my face, right,
But you are
is
talking
different.
you are talking to your hero. You are talking to this woman that it is a Tuesday and her patience is already gone.
Mhm. Mhm.
You are talking to this woman who has, dealt with an ex, makes she's got to deal with kids, she's dealt with loss, she's got 2 and 3 jobs, and she's also trying to also move her career. Like, all of these things, that is who you're talking to. And I
Mhm.
know it's a little little dot on that screen, but when you think about her and how desperate she is for a change, how this one thing that you're going to say in this car could change the trajectory of her life moving forward. You're not just talking to no one. She's in the car with you.
Right. That's what I need to keep in mind because I'm
Yeah,
definitely not thinking about that end state in the moment. I'm
sure.
very the
You just see
technical
the
the
phone, right?
correct, the actual technical piece, but
Yes.
yeah, you're
Mm-mm.
correct.
Yes. Keep that in mind, because it'll even change the way you emphasize what you're saying. Because
Mhm.
if you're in it definitely takes that practice, obviously. But if you're talking to her, what kind of language does she like? Does she like the professional type language? Or is it like, listen, I know,
Mm-hmm.
been there, done that, got the t-shirt and the button.
Mm-hmm.
This is how I got through this. Versus, okay, so next step we have, and here's point A, point B, point D, you know what I'm saying? Get in the mud with her because you pulling her out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yes, it's in that little car and you got it, up there on the steering wheel and all the things. But, and breaking the fourth wall here, just so y'all know, the raw, unedited, very candid videos are coming back now because people are tired of they're tired of AI for one, but they're tired of the curated, very polished videos. So this is a moment where you can really lean in, and just consistency will take it through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Just with you doing it twice a week. It doesn't have to be every day, but if you could commit to twice a week, you could increase your followership. On top of that, make sure you have a call to action on the back of it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want them to do afterwards? Do you want them to share it with someone they love? Do you want them to follow you for more? Do you usually those two are the biggest ones. If you have something for them, like if you have something of value to give them, the other call to action, aka CTA, could be to comment something.
Mm-hmm.
So you get that engagement. Like comment parked pause.
Mm-hmm.
If you were feeling what I'm telling you today. So just those three call to actions can get you that engagement that you're looking for. And then once they start engaging with you, that's when you message them back. Hey, I'm so glad you enjoyed what I just said. Like, anything I can pray for you for today, this week. And that kind of stuff, because consumers are always just that. They're consumers. They want to know what's in it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Period, point blank. Especially if I'm going to spend money, or the most valuable thing, my time and my attention.
Yeah.
So what's in it for me? If you can draw out what's in it for me, then and you focus on that, they're gonna love you.
Mm-hmm.
Because you care. If we focus on here's what I have, here's what I have, versus I see you, how can I bring more value to you, it changes, and they'll love you for it. They'll be like, man, that Adrianne Joy, she brings me so much joy. I needed this park pause today.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to every, this day and that day that she posts that parked pause. I need that every single day. And you'll start to grow your followership. And then you'll look up and it'll be time to launch that book. And you've got not just followers, you'll have a community, you'll have supporters who are drawn to just the small little moments that you've been giving them week after week after week. And they're like, what else does she have for me? Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay. So you're okay with doing the park pauses more?
Yep, I'm okay.
And adding a call to action every time.
It
doesn't always have to be, it doesn't have to be buy my book. It can simply be comment below based on whatever you've said. And then, so parked pauses. How do you feel about, what was I going to say? How do you feel about, you mentioned a workbook that's coming out with the book.
Yes, it won't come out at the same time. Well, it might. Let me not say what's not going to happen. It
We
won't, but it will eventually have a workbook that's in tandem. I think that would be good for small groups, small women's groups, women's retreats, whatever, those types of things. So in the book, at the end of every chapter, there is something called joy for formations. So joy formation. So it's actively forming joy. actively
Joy
forming your joy.
formations.
And so it's like guided, a very light guided practice at the end of every chapter.
Okay.
But the workbook would take you much deeper into that
Sure.
practice, in that application of everything that we've talked about.
Okay. Joy formations are really cute. I love that. Joy
I mean,
formation.
there's so much power in affirmations, and again, that what we're talking about, what we're saying, that kind of thing. And so I mean, it applies across the board, right?
Hmm.
So if we say we want joy, you have to actively form it. And I mean, that's one of the basics of what we're talking about in the book, is our role in finding joy, right? It's not
Yes.
going to just land in your lap. You have to
Yeah.
find it.
Okay. You should do joy formations as like just some of your static posts, because that would be
Hmm.
super dope too.
Hmm.
Just joy formations. How big are you on like day in the lives?
Um, how big am I on that?
Like
I'm
are you
very little. I'm
oh, okay.
minuscule. Okay.
Okay. Never mind. I won't offer. I just asked. I just asked. You're like, "Ugh, you can get me in the car. Parked.
I
Pause.
mean, again, I'm not necessarily opposed, but again,
Okay.
I have to change my own mindset about this, right? I go about my
Yeah.
life and I've gone about my life. I'm not
Yeah.
filming, I'm not, those types of things. So,
Mhm.
um, you know, I'm
Okay.
open.
I said the workbook is a great idea to convert followers into supporters through active engagement. I love that too.
Yeah.
Um, so yes, um, you can probably also turn that workbook into a digital experience as well,
Hmm.
like a small app
Hmm.
where women can. And this is where we get into business strategy, guys.
I love it. I
But
see where
where
you're
you can
going,
turn
and
it
I love it.
where you can turn it into an app or a
Hmm.
digital experience where you can journal and um, you know
Hmm.
you can then they can track what their progress is, and even where they could find joy in each day, and kind of mark and things like
Hmm.
that. We should talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I
um,
like it.
Somebody's like, yes, digital version. I know, right? That would be so we can talk about that
Hmm.
a little bit later. But um, these parked pauses are fantastic. We just have to see more of them,
Hmm.
and then more calls to action, because you need to grow your followership. I'm assuming you are definitely going to be on Instagram doing this.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, I saw your Instagram profile. We gotta tell
Hmm.
people who you are,
Hmm.
girl. Joy strategist, cultural analyst. Like, you're transforming lives. I stalked you on your website. You said joy sustains when happiness fades. You said joy is a choice, a strength, a strategy. That's what you said. These are your words.
Hmm.
We got to see them. We got to see it in action. Here's the thing, you have everything that you need. You really, really do. There's really nothing that I am seeing that, there's some holes or anything like that. You just got to get out there and
And
turn around
run.
and do it.
That's it. I gotta do it. I gotta do it.
You just got to do it. And it's got to be consistent. And, you know, yes, you'll see like the small little, okay, I only got, 10 likes here, I only got 20 likes here, I only got 40 likes here. But eventually that stuff will accumulate. And that's the other thing, when people don't realize, when people begin to follow you, they want to see your history. They want to see what you've been up to.
Hmm.
And when you see that one follower and they've liked stuff from like, you know,
5 years ago.
down the, 2023, I'm like, okay, really? But it's because they are liking what you're putting out,
Hmm.
and they want to see more of it. So the
Hmm.
more you get it out there, the park pauses, the joy formations. I know that's an activity at the end of your workbook, but think about it in more terms of something that can be coined, that people can share.
Hmm.
Quotes, like you said, they're like affirmations, like little small things
Hmm.
that people can see and associate with your brand.
Hmm.
Because we are still a business, even though it's this ministry and from the heart and all the things. This is still a business. So those are now two things that you have that you can commit to. Well, three things: two park pauses and a joy formation
Mm-hmm.
that you can commit to within 1 week. That's something that's repeatable that you can do and that's sustainable. I'm just trying to think of one more thing that you could add. That would be easy. That's sustainable because I know you're working mom, wife, all the things.
All the things.
All the things. Oh, the other thing that I did think about for your book launch would you be open to making a chapter public or an excerpt public?
So yes, totally open to that. I desire to do that on the website, kind of
Okay.
as a, yeah, yeah,
Okay,
open
because
to that.
that's a great lead magnet that you can use.
Hmm.
You and the other thing is that you can be I always use this with caution and lead with your scars, not your wounds. I know you have scars, not wounds. It's so hard when you hear people bleeding all over people. That is,
Correct, correct.
do not do that, people. Do not do that.
Wait
But
until you're healed.
yes,
Wait till you're healed.
do not bleed all over people. If you are healed, then
Yeah.
this is something that you can look into. Okay, so this is just a preface. Um, if you are looking to be open and vulnerable with your story, but you know, allowing people to see that piece,
Hmm.
because what they're now looking at is the healed version.
Hmm. Yeah.
But this story is a part of my before. If you want to see this story, type the word before, I'll send it to you. And it's a
Hmm.
part of whatever part of that book that you want. But it's a lead magnet. It'll get you those followers.
Hmm.
And then you can also, once you have their email, you can ask for feedback. Let me
Hmm.
know what you thought about that piece, or
Hmm.
whatever. And now you're building more community, because
Hmm.
that's what it's about. It's about building that community. People love to see themselves in the space and say, okay, what can I get out of it? Right.
Hmm.
So the more they can see themselves, they're going to say, can I get more from you? Can I get more? Can I get more? Can I get more? So this would just be for the women. The B2B is
We gotta
something
get rid.
totally
We
different.
gotta tackle that later.
Yeah, we have to tackle that another day. But and what we're also looking for is, to get those testimonials, to get those women that are saying, I've been following her for a while and I see myself in her and I see myself growing as I'm following her. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Okay. Um, so you can also do an excerpt as a lead magnet.
Hmm.
You're not giving away something for nothing. You have to. I'm like Denzel Washington. You leaving here with something.
Right. You got.
Leaving here with something would be the lead magnet in the excerpt
Yeah.
in the book.
Okay.
Um, and then once the book fully launches, then they get, maybe they get early access or whatever,
Hmm.
or they can pre-purchase.
Pre-order.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
I
pre-order.
do. I do. Yeah. I do want to do pre-orders for sure.
Okay. Okay. So sharing that excerpt, and then just making sure that people know that you're coming out with this book. You know, let us see take us on this journey. Let us
Hmm.
see what the book cover is going to look like. Let people know how excited you are. Is the editing almost done? Take us on this journey of showing us the after and how you're celebrating and enjoying the after, because at the end of the day, what that this woman who wants this transformation, who's tired, is aspiring
Hmm.
to this next step. We
Hmm.
don't have to be, all the way at the super duper top and all the things.
Right.
It's just the woman that's right behind us, maybe 2 or 3 steps behind, that you're
Hmm.
pulling up,
Hmm.
because she's here and she wants to be where you are. And we're looking forward to whoever we're looking forward to pull us up to the next stage. So you don't have to always be at the super duper duper top. You just turn it around and going, hey sis, I'm bringing you along with me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're looking for. Oh no, I'm feeling it. My watch is
That's
going
it. That's
off.
that 30 minutes.
It's the 30 minutes.
There's some good suggestions in the chat though that I
I'm
definitely need to
seeing
come
them.
back and look. So there's
Okay, yeah.
some good
Okay. Well,
things.
I got to read one of these. Okay. Small quotes, somebody said, that can definitely make you memorable. Okay. Um, how about reading a small quote from her book once a week called A Joyful Quote? That's a cool suggestion. That's a really cool suggestion. Have you considered a calendar style small quotes where it's a daily note? So that would be like a 365 day. That's a lot of
Mhm.
quotes. You got to.
There's a lot of
You want to
quotes.
borrow some quotes from somebody else? I don't know. But you can. That's definitely an option. One, but that's the thing. That's also the thing. You know, not it embodying who your hero is not just messaging and branding and things like that, but it's also how does this woman like to receive her information?
Mhm.
Where is she on her free time? Right? How is she an email chick or is she a texter?
Mhm.
Does she prefer voice memos or does she prefer so and when you hone in on who this hero is, then you're not wasting your time on all this other stuff. That's why I want to that's why we spent so much time at the beginning saying who is this woman? Where's her what are her pain points? What are her triggers? Because when we come up with these ideas, then we're basing it off of who this hero is. If it doesn't work for
Mhm.
her, we're not going to worry about it.
Mhm.
If she's not, if she spends the majority of her time commuting, then we're not going to worry about things that she's going to be looking at for long form content that she's got to sit down for.
Mhm. And I need that audiobook.
And we need the audiobook. There we go. That she can turn on while she's in the car.
That's right.
Right. Or maybe your long form content looks a lot different, so that she can digest it. And
Mhm.
again, it's not we are not excluding people, but we are focused on this
100%.
one hero. And when we get her, one of two things will happen. Number one, when she sees herself, she'll say, I need her.
Mhm.
Or two, if that person is saying, you know what, this isn't for me, but I know two or three women that this could
Mhm.
really help. Let me send this out to them. Then we've got it.
That's right.
Then we've got it. So, okay. So last thing, Adrianne, you had to tell everybody. First of all, thank you so much for coming on.
Of
We
course.
got all kinds of notes and goodies and things like that. Guys, you will be able to rewatch this in the morning. I will re-upload this as a part of the whole Pitch Perfect Live playlist. So if you want to see some past episodes, they are on here. And this episode will be available in the morning, so you can go back and watch it. And you have to tell us, Adrianne, where we can find you. You're going to get some new followers right now, honey. Let's
Well, I love
go.
it. Y'all come find me on Facebook at Adrianne Joy or on Instagram at she's underscore a joy. She's underscore a joy.
Okay. And your website.
It's under construction, but it's adrianjoy.com.
Okay. Adrianne Joy. And that's ADRIANNE.
That's correct. JOY.
Yes.com. Thank you so much.
Thanks for
Hey,
having me.
this was another wonderful Pitch Perfect Live. If you are interested in being on Pitch Perfect Live, just go to my website, NicciWillis.com, and click on Pitch Perfect Live. Go ahead and apply, and it's free. You get 30 minutes with me, and we do just this kind of thing. And it's always so much fun. There's always a transformation for a business leader. And that person could be you. So make sure that you do that. And guys, I will see you next week. Oh, don't forget, the green room community is growing. Listen, I'm about to let loose in there now. So it's still free. Make sure you join the green room community. Okay. You can go to NicciWillis.com and find that information as well. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, ladies and gentlemen. And I will see you guys next week. I will actually be traveling, but I will see you on Wednesday. It'll be a special night. I will see you guys on Wednesday for our next Pitch Perfect Live. Bye, everybody.
All
Thanks,
right.
Adrienne.
Thank you.